Imagine, a garden so massive, so impossible, that ancient historians swore it floated in the air. No machines, no cranes, no trucks, just stone, water, and thousands of workers, somehow growing an entire forest, 200 feet above the ground. And here's the part that'll really mess with your head. We're still not 100% sure it actually existed. So today, we're going to find it. Hey, I'm Theo, professional time traveler, part-time historian, and full-time guy who just really wants to see a floating garden with his own two stick eyes. If you're new here, welcome to Theo Rebuilds History, where I travel back in time, poke around ancient civilizations, and try really hard not to break anything important. Okay, that one wasn't on purpose. But today's a big one. We're going almost 2,600 years into the past, to one of the most mysterious wonders the ancient world ever built, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Let's go get lost in time. Whoa, okay, we are officially in ancient Babylon, around 600 BCE, give or take a few centuries. Time travel math is hard, okay? This place was the city of the ancient world. Huge walls, wide streets, temples taller than anything nearby. Babylon was basically the New York City of Mesopotamia, minus the pizza. Tragically, Babylon sat right here on the Euphrates River, in modern-day Iraq. It was the capital of the Babylonian Empire, and under one particular king, it became legendary. That king's name? Nebuchadnezzar II. Try saying that 5 times fast. Nope, just Neb. We're calling him Neb. Neb ruled Babylon for over 40 years, and under him, the city became insanely wealthy and powerful. And according to ancient legend, he built the Hanging Gardens for someone very specific. The story goes, Neb married a princess named Amidus from the mountains of Media. That's roughly modern-day Iran. And Media had lush green hills, cool air, mountains covered in plants. Babylon? Flat, dusty, hot. Basically an oven with buildings in it. So legend says poor Amidus was homesick. And Neb, being a guy who apparently could not handle his wife being sad, decided to fix it the ancient king way. Not flowers, not a nice necklace. He built her an entire mountain, made of gardens. So what exactly were the Hanging Gardens supposed to be? Picture this, giant stone terraces, stacked on top of each other like layers of a wedding cake, except each layer is covered in trees, flowers, vines, and plants, cascading down the sides like a green waterfall. Ancient writers describe trees growing on rooftops, thick enough to shade entire courtyards. Some accounts say the whole structure was over 300 feet wide and rose more than 80 feet into the sky. That's like stacking 6 giraffes on top of each other, and then putting a jungle on top of that. By the way, hanging doesn't mean the plants were literally dangling in midair like ancient piñatas. It comes from the Greek word kremastos, meaning overhanging, like a garden built on balconies, spilling over the edges. Still incredible, just less floating wizard garden, more world's most ambitious balcony. Now here's where things get really impressive, and honestly, kind of baffling. Babylon doesn't get much rain. So how do you keep a mountain of plants alive in the middle of a desert? The leading theory? A chain pump system. Basically an ancient elevator, but for water. Workers, or possibly animals, would turn a wheel that powered a continuous loop of buckets. Water from the Euphrates River got scooped up, carried through a shaft, and dumped out at the very top of the gardens. Then gravity did the rest, trickling water down through each layer, level by level, keeping every plant alive. No electricity, no plumbing store, no guy named Steve fixing the sprinklers, just human muscle, clever engineering, and, I'm guessing, a lot of complaining from whoever had to turn that wheel all day. Historians also believe the terraces were lined with layers of reeds, bitumen, which is basically ancient tar, and lead sheeting to stop water from leaking through and collapsing the whole structure. ancient waterproofing. Honestly, smarter than some modern bathrooms I've seen. Now here's the twist in our story. The Hanging Gardens were listed as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, right alongside the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Colossus of Rhodes, which is a huge deal. That's basically the ancient world's version of a 5-star review. But here's the strange part. We have 0 Babylonian records that mention the gardens. Not one. No inscriptions, no tablets, nothing directly from Nebuchadnezzar's own scribes describing them. Everything we know comes from later writers, Greek and Roman historians, writing decades or even centuries after the gardens supposedly existed. Writers like Strabo, Diodorus, and Philo of Byzantium, which means it's kind of like trying to describe your grandpa's legendary fishing trip, except your grandpa's grandpa was the one who saw it, and he heard about it from someone at a barbecue. Details get a little fuzzy after that many retellings. So archaeologists have been trying to solve this mystery for over a century. German archaeologist Robert Koldewey spent years excavating Babylon in the early 1900s. He found a vaulted, arched structure with a strange well system near the palace and thought, this could be it. Case closed, right? Mystery solved, pack it up. Except, more recent research suggests that structure was probably just storage rooms. Awkward. And then things got even more interesting. British historian Stephanie Dalley proposed a wild theory. What if everyone's been looking in the wrong city entirely? She argues the gardens may have actually been built roughly 300 miles north, in the city of Nineveh, by a different king altogether, Sennacherib of Assyria. Assyrian records, actual written records, describe Sennacherib building a marvelous, terraced garden with an advanced irrigation system, using something similar to a screw pump to raise water uphill, which lines up almost perfectly with the Hanging Gardens description. Except centuries of retelling and translation may have mixed up the city and the king. So basically, one of history's greatest wonders might have a case of mistaken identity. Ancient historians, fantastic storytellers, occasionally terrible with directions. So, did the Hanging Gardens of Babylon really exist, exactly as described? Nobody can say for certain. Maybe they stood exactly where legend says. Maybe they bloomed in a different city under a different king. Or maybe the truth is scattered somewhere between fact, myth, and centuries of admiring storytellers who didn't want to let go of something beautiful. But here's what I love about this mystery. Even without solid proof, this story survived for over 2,000 years. Kings fell, empires crumbled, entire cities turned to dust and sand. And yet, people kept telling the story of a king who built a mountain of green, blooming life in the middle of the desert, out of love and sheer stubborn human ambition. Maybe that's the real wonder here, not just the engineering, but the idea that humans have always looked at impossible and thought, nah, let's just build it anyway. That's it for today's trip, time travelers. If you enjoyed getting lost in history with me, make sure to subscribe, because next time, we're chasing another ancient mystery. Same stick figure, new timeline. Let's go.